A mutant, a pirate, an eternal, and a lover of death. Thanos of Titan is all of this, and carries many other names he has earned on his journey through the universe. He is one of the few beings in existence that entities fear, and in today's video, you will learn everything about the origin of the Mad Titan. The story begins with Thanos returning to his home planet, Titan, one of Saturn's moons, a visit he makes annually to remember who he is. We are then taken back many years to witness his birth. Upon his arrival, the doctors were shocked by his purple skin and strange appearance. Despite this, his father, Lars, immediately accepted him, dismissing the doctor's insistence on genetic tests, declaring his son was remarkable. However, when Lars presented the child to his wife, still recovering from labor, her reaction was starkly different. Terrified by the sight of the baby, she proclaimed that he had death in his eyes. Panicking, she grabbed a knife and attempted to kill him, but Lars intervened just in time, sedating her to calm her down. Time passes, and we see Thanos as a growing child. Thanos is watching other children play when two boys and a girl approach him. They tell him that he looks strange, but not out of malice. They also mention that everyone says he's the smartest kid in school, which surprises Thanos. He had no idea people admired him, because he always felt excluded due to his appearance. This moment sparks a friendship between Thanos and the kids, and he starts playing with them. Back at home, however, Thanos tries to talk to his father, Lars, who is distant and uninterested. Lars prioritizes his work over spending time with his son. Later, we see Thanos in a closed room, sharing with someone that he often dreams of someone trying to kill him at birth. It's then revealed that the person he's talking to is his own mother. Thanos' mother is shown in a straitjacket, locked away in a room since his birth. He tells her that he's found a way to stop having nightmares by simply no longer sleeping. One day, during a dissection lesson at school, Thanos becomes nauseated at the sight of a dead lizard with its body opened up. He vomits and rushes out of the classroom. Kneeling in the school courtyard, a girl approaches him and starts a conversation. Thanos had never seen her before, but she knows who he is. The girl tells Thanos that if he wants to be a great scientist one day, he can't afford to get sick over a simple dissection. She says he just needs some time to rest and clear his mind. She then invites him to visit one of her favorite places, a cave. The story jumps forward, and we see Thanos leading his three friends to the cave the girl had shown him. They were walking around when suddenly a large landslide occurred, separating Thanos from his friends. He was trapped for 3 days and spent that time digging to try to get back to the exit until caterpillars started to appear. This made him happy because it meant he was closer to the surface. Thanos, still a child, told the small creatures in the cave not to worry, as he wouldn't harm them. He kept digging until he finally found a way out, but to his horror, he was met with the sight of his friends' decomposed bodies being devoured by lizards. As the days passed, the entire city learned about the tragedy. Thanos sat in front of the cave, staring, until the mysterious girl reappeared. She told him it was natural to feel anger, and that if he truly loved his friends, he should act on his desire for revenge. Thanos returned to the cave, slaughtering all the lizards inside, decapitating them, and dissecting their bodies in a brutal display. Years went by, and at 15 years old, Thanos had become incredibly intelligent, surpassing even his teachers. However, he became obsessed with discovering why he was so different from others. He built a secret laboratory in a remote location, where he conducted gruesome experiments, dissecting various animals in search of answers. In one of his experiments, he captured a live monkey, but after all his efforts, he learned nothing useful, leaving him with yet another lifeless body in his lab. On that day, Thanos' mysterious friend was with him. Frustrated by his failure to find answers, she told him that he had been searching in the wrong places. Taking her advice, Thanos escalated his experiments, capturing a young couple to dissect. Thanos became the first person in Titan's history to commit murder. We then see Thanos digging graves to bury the bodies, vowing to his mysterious friend that he would never kill again. However, she countered, claiming that he couldn't stop because he enjoyed it. She knew he wasn't killing just for scientific purposes, but because it gave him pleasure. Thanos denied this, accusing her of lying. 2 weeks later, Thanos was seen burying more bodies, admitting to his friend that she was right. He enjoyed killing. It was the only time he didn't feel alone. The scene then shifted to Thanos in his lab, conversing with another person he had imprisoned. He confessed to having killed 17 people since realizing he loved murder. Now, Thanos knew this made him a monster, and he needed to understand why he was this way. And this is where we see that the latest subject of his studies is his own mother. Yes, Thanos killed his own mother, saying that she was the key to discovering what he was. After killing her, Thanos fled from Titan. He wandered into space until he found a planet where all the inhabitants were different like him. This way, he wouldn't attract attention. On this new planet, he found a woman and had a child with her, but it didn't last long, because while his child was still a baby, Thanos decided to leave. He boarded a spaceship that was a cargo ship and began working as a subordinate. Thus, he traveled through numerous galaxies and visited many planets. What Thanos did was continue his quest to understand himself and try to love again, something he hadn't felt in a long time. He began traveling from planet to planet, and on each one, he would find a woman and have a child with her, but he could never care for either the women or his children. This continued until one day, the leader of the ship he worked on became frustrated with the fact that Thanos didn't help in battles. Thanos only worked as the ship's pilot, but when it was time to fight, he would hide. Tired of having an ally who lacked the courage to kill, the ship's leader attacked Thanos. However, this was his worst mistake, as Thanos ripped his head off. Now, Thanos was the new captain of the ship. Thanos then decided to stop by his home planet, the moon of Titan. While visiting his mother's grave, a woman appeared. It was the mysterious girl from his childhood. Thanos expressed surprise at seeing her, but also said he was happy. He told her that she was the only woman he had ever loved, the only one who truly understood him. He had met countless women across the universe, and even fathered children with some, but none had filled the emptiness in his heart. The mysterious woman then told Thanos that, to prove his love for her, he had to ensure she was the only woman in his life. Thus, we see Thanos visiting the first woman with whom he had a child. She greeted him with joy, but he had no good intentions. Coldly, Thanos murdered both his wife and child, all to please the woman he loved. He asks if what he did was enough, but she replies that it wasn't. It would only be enough when all the women and children he left behind were dead. The story jumps ahead in time. Now, Thanos has already killed every woman he was involved with and all the children he fathered. Yet, the mysterious woman still isn't satisfied, telling him that it's not enough to prove his love. Thanos continues ravaging planets, so many that he loses count. The more he kills, the happier the woman seems, but she's never fully satisfied. Eventually, Thanos grows tired. He no longer wants to kill or live a life filled with bloodshed and devastation. He confronts the mysterious woman, telling her he wants to stop. She responds that it's not yet time for him to quit, and because of that, she still won't love him. Angry, Thanos orders his guards to imprison the woman in a cold, dark cell. But to his surprise, the guards are unable to see her. Confused, he asks what's happening, and she finally explains. No one else has ever seen her, only he can. She reveals that all the men working for him think he's insane because he's always talking to thin air. At last, the woman reveals her true identity. She is Death. Yes, Death is the only thing Thanos has ever truly loved throughout his life. Thanos is extremely furious for having been deceived by Death all this time. In a fit of rage, he destroys his entire ship and attempts to kill himself by throwing himself into the flames of the explosions. However, Death prevents him from dying. She then speaks to him, planting the idea that he was born to kill. Thanos promises that he won't rest until she truly loves him. We then see Thanos heading to Titan, his place of origin. He arrives bombarding everything in sight, reaping countless lives. He is determined to kill everyone on the planet. The last life remaining is that of his father, Lars, who had built a weapon upon learning that his son was devastating planets. However, when they confront each other, Lars lacks the courage to use it. Thanos seizes the weapon from his father and fires it at his own head, but nothing happens. He then unleashes a blast of energy at his father. Lars is injured but doesn't die. During their conversation, Thanos reveals the truth about Death to his father. Then, his father shakes his head, insisting that Thanos is insane, that Death doesn't exist, and that it's all a product of his imagination. He tries to convince Thanos to surrender, suggesting that together they could seek a cure. But Thanos doesn't listen to his father and declares that his punishment will be to live and watch his son destroy all the planets in the universe. Death attempts to speak with Thanos, asserting that they need to stay together. She even kisses him to try to persuade him. But Thanos realizes that he doesn't love the embodiment of death. In fact, all the destruction he has caused was because he chose to. He understands that he was born for this purpose, and that he will continue to do so for all eternity. But this was the complete origin story of the Mad Titan Thanos, the one responsible for exterminating his own race and abandoning everything in pursuit of his love for death. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel so we can go further than any nerd channel has ever gone. I count on you,